Good Wednesday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing great. We've got another Watchmen update here. We got major news items breaking that you won't hear anywhere else. We got a major train derailment in Texas, hazardous material on fire. Important stuff there. We got Canada banning walking and boating even on your own property. We got Chairman Jerome Powell facing a major lawsuit. And the richest man in the world is about to sue Apple. We'll talk about why that is. And the green herb is about to be reclassified. So that's going to shake things up out there too. And the crackdown in D.C. has been so successful that they may just roll it out to other crime centers. I mean, cities. We got that and a whole bunch of reports coming from you guys. A lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. And these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They've been with us for quite a while, being a part of the Watchmen community, because they see what's on the horizon, they see what's coming. And if we had listened to them 2 years ago, we would be seeing very good returns in your retirement portfolio if you had switched over to gold, silver, or platinum. And I think that that's probably going to continue going forward. If you'd like to talk to somebody about what that would look like, what the fees are, the whole process, Jonathan and his team would love to walk you through it. There's no obligation to move forward if you talk to them. Just get some of your questions answered and to figure out how the whole thing works. There'll be a link at the end of the video that you can just tap, fill out the information, and they'll get in contact with you, answer your questions, and you can decide if it's a good fit for you and your family. All right. Up in Canada, hunting and even walking in the wilderness is now illegal, even if it's your own property. You can't even boat on water sources even if it's, once again, all on your property. This is the Canadian province of Nova Scotia. This is how they're going to fight wildfires, is to prevent people from hiking and boating. Now, I don't know how they're going to ban lightning or arson, but, the things that actually cause the wildfires. But sure, why don't we just stop everyone from going out of doors? Their justification is that the banning walking, hunting, fishing, biking in the wilderness will prevent forest fires. Can't even make this stuff up yet. It's like Canada is like a comedy special or something like that. I'm sure it's not funny at all for the people of Canada. Emergency crews yesterday responded to a train derailment and fire east of Gordon in Texas. Officials say 35 train cars are involved. Some were carrying hazardous materials. Videos that emerged from that showed some of the cars and some of the brush nearby on fire. Lots of smoke coming out of the whole thing. Very concerning situation. It's not too far from some population centers. We saw this already in Ohio before, remember? Toxic train chemicals on fire. If you're in those areas, please watch and listen to major alerts coming from emergency management agencies out there. All right, the president has threatened a major lawsuit against Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. And why? Over the rising cost of renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. Now, this is something that's pretty startling. The project is $300 million over budget for a renovation, right? I mean, you could build some pretty massive buildings for $300 million, right? Custom designed mansions that span many, many acres. But the Federal Reserve, a bank, so it's not really a bank, it's a fake bank. They get to print money. How can they possibly not know how to use money? right? But that's the case right there. Incompetence, graft, kickbacks, all this stuff is under investigation right now for criminal side of things, but also the civil side of lawsuits are opening up too. Moving on, we got the government is now looking, the administration is looking at reclassification of the green herbal, if you know what I'm talking about, moving it from a Schedule 1 drug down to a Schedule 3 drug. Now this is floated back during the Obama administration. This is talked about by the Biden administration, but of course they never actually did anything about it because they like to see all the people who aren't this locked up. I mean, they pretend like that's not the case, but they actually do like all those people locked up. And so this has been going around for quite a bit of time. Some states have moved on that. Now, I am personally not a fan of this stuff at all. I don't think people should be taking it. I don't think that it's good for you. I think it's bad for you. I don't think there's really good medical purposes for it. That's my opinion on it. I'm not a doctor though. But I don't think that it is right that it's classified the way it is. It's classified up against some really nasty substances that are, let's just admit, at a higher level of problem, okay? This is not the same stuff as you know, the harder substances out there. Now, back in the 80s, they made those decisions. They made a whole bunch of scare campaigns to show how horrible the stuff was. But I mean, you turn into a couch potato, okay? You turn it into a brain-fried couch potato. That's the worst case scenario or the bad case scenario there. You get the munchies and you end up not fulfilling your life's potential. Like I said, I don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea, but I don't think that it belongs classified the way it is, where people become violent or become so strongly addicted that they are committing crimes in order to get their fix. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments down below. Also, White House floating deploying National Guard to New York, Chicago, and LA after the DC crackdown. So basically, it seems like a good idea in Washington, D.C. Why don't we just do that in some other cities that desperately need it, like Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. Hey, who knows? Maybe Seattle too. Also, they are calling for legislation to be passed by Congress to end no cash bails across the United States cities as part of a crime crackdown. You should not be released on no bail. You shouldn't just be able to walk free if you're being charged with a crime. It makes it too easy, and you really should have to put money down so that they have incentive to track you down if you try to skip town. A trade order to extend a China tariff truce by 90 days has been issued. So the 150+% tariffs on China are not going to snap back into place, at least not immediately. We are already charging them like 45%, I believe, is where the tariff is for the U.S. right now. We're in good shape. We are charging some significantly high tariffs on China right now. 45% is nothing to sneeze at. They are, suppliers are being forced to shift over to other products. The extension prevents the tariffs from snapping back into place. President says China has been dealing quite nicely. Apparently, the negotiations are moving forward with the actual trade deal. However, China has urged its tech giants to avoid the Nvidia H20 chips after the sale ban has been lifted. That will be a reverse tariff of 15% on any of those chips. Anything they sell to China, 15% of that revenue has to come to the United States government as a reverse tariff. China's internet regulator ordered local tech companies, including ByteDance, they're the ones who own TikTok, Alibaba Group, and Tencent Holdings to suspend their purchases of Nvidia chips. Firms are advised not to use the H20 for government or security-related work. Apparently, it's got some back doors into it because the United States does that kind of thing and has for many years. Elon Musk has threatened immediate legal action against Apple over alleged antitrust violations, saying Apple is behaving in a manner that makes it impossible for any AI company besides OpenAI to reach number one in the App Store, which is unequivocal antitrust violation. So Grok, the Elon Musk's AI, is being discriminated against. That's what he's saying in the App Store. Apple is actively pushing OpenAI, which is functioning like a for-profit company, even though it's supposed to be a non-profit. They switched from trying to produce and give open source artificial intelligence that other people can use it for projects to turning into basically running like a for-profit company, which is just against everything that the organization ever fundraised on. All right, Michael says, I live 50 miles away from D.C. I won't go to D.C. because of the crime. Washington, D.C. is a mess with crime, drugs, murders, multiple stabbings at metro stations. The police commander in May was suspended for altering the crime data, making felonies a lesser charge. And that's how we see everyone's like, oh, the felonies are way down. It's like, yeah, well, that's because you're just pretending things aren't felonies. Joe says, Capital Region, New York, shopping at the local Hannaford store. All of the store brand coffee was gone. After doing some research, I understand why. It was $13.50, which is about $3 to $5 cheaper than the next cheapest name brand. So store brands disappearing coffee as people see the coffee prices going up. They're shifting their purchasing to generic brands, trying to buy the cheaper of options out there. Abettel says, Upper Valley, New Hampshire, I'm unable to find yams and white flesh sweet potatoes. No store in the area carries them anymore, and a produce manager at Hannaford said that they can't even order them. Just, normal stuff, like we just can't order stuff anymore. Rose says, absolutely so few bugs in the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg and Sevier County, Tennessee. Just no bugs. We're seeing that across the country. Pry says, Caryville, Tennessee. This past weekend, I bought 12 bananas to dehydrate. The outside skin looked nearly perfect. When I peeled them, though, to slice them up, I ended up having to cut away about a third of each banana due to black and bruised spots for dehydration, right? Despite having to cut so much away, I was still able to get about 4 trays of slices to dehydrate. Matthew Trucking says, Houston, Texas. As a truck driver, there are few bugs on the windshield, a lot fewer. Few bees and few butterflies. Birds are also significantly reduced. This has been getting worse the last 4 years. We're killing everything. These are the results. Now the food supply and the weather happening as well. Chaz says, we are in Middle Tennessee, just outside Nashville. I have seen no bees this year at all. A few wasps and a lot of Asian tiger mosquitoes, which are resistant to any bug spray we have tried. We do have dragonflies, which help some, but the mosquitoes are worse than I have ever seen them. We also have bird feeders and noticed this summer that they need to be filled more regularly than in summers past. So the birds are hungrier because they're not getting what they need. It wasn't until I started hearing reports on this channel concerning a lack of insects that I realized that they are eating more out of the feeders because they have to. I feed my birds regularly, and I'm glad that they have my backyard as an oasis. Jennifer says, I'm in Yellowstone, and the animals are still here, most of the park this time of year. But they say, seems all the animals are hungry. I have 2 greenhouses and smaller one these animals visit. They are taking peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers. I turn the water on every day to get the worms so that the birds have something to eat. I'm trying to feed them all the best I can. The ground is not shaking, but they keep spraying us like we are bugs. Funny thing is, there's a no-fly zone over the park, but yet these planes go right over and spray. Trees are starting to turn red from who knows what, and when they turn red, this means that they are dying. Cape Fear says, hubby and I just returned from a mini vacation. We were mainly in western North Carolina and some of northwest South Carolina and East Tennessee. Although not as many bugs or birds, in the evenings our windshield and front of cars should be covered with bugs. There were nearly none. We saw people fishing in the streams, although no one seemed to be catching anything. Did not see the first frog. We did, however, see several deer, wild turkeys, squirrels, and groundhogs. First time ever in 2 people's lifetimes that we did not smell a skunk. Speaking of okra, it's good stuff. We usually grow quite a bit, although this year we had a bush hog over half for non-growth and non-production. So their okra wasn't producing this year. Fresh okra has been hard to get for several years now. David says, I have a camp in north central Arkansas, a little over 10 miles from the nearest town. Those are the only places that spray for insects. But the same effect up there. No insects, no birds, and the bats are gone. 2 years ago, I could not count all of them. But last year, I was thinking there were not as many. This year, they are just gone. There's caves and habitats in abundance around here, so I'm thinking it could be the 5G thing, because 5G did not help my phone service at all. Keep up the good works, Steve, and may the Lord bless you. Appreciate that. The Lord bless you all as well. Steve says the state of Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, and the EPA recently completed studies on the health impact as it relates to eating freshwater fish from our waterways. I've fished all my life and recall the limits that they recommended on eating fish due to the level of mercury in the fish. Now they say it's no longer safe to eat any fish from our waters due to the toxicity level of both mercury and PFAS, or the permanent chemicals, the forever chemicals, both together or separately. It's unsafe to eat any fish from the United States now. Let that sink in. Eyes Wide says, a man shopping at Costco showed me how they're selling fake beef there in the store. They're putting it right next to the real beef, but when you read the label, it has some kind of odd name. Please pay attention to your labels. Apparently, they're rolling that out in Costco. Deborah says, always keep saran wrap in your kitchen and stock. About 15 years ago, my stepson was using a chainsaw and had an accident. It cut him pretty deeply. I stuffed it with gauze to control bleeding and made a tight bandage with the saran wrap, wrapping it tightly around the legs so I could get him to the hospital. It worked very well, and the hospital staff was impressed. I always keep it in my kitchen. That's a good word out there as well. This afternoon, I'm actually going to walk you through some basic things to buy for your home first aid kit. So you're not going to want to miss that episode. I'm just going to show you how to build your own first aid kit, things that could save your life or the lives of people that you love and care about. And I'll show you where it's good to spend some extra money, where it's not, where you can just basically get the basic stuff, or where you really want to get something that's a little better off. All right, friends, I look forward to meeting with you on that one. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold, there's a link right there on the screen. No obligation to move forward. just to ask some questions and get some information from them. You can also get some free ebooks that will kind of explain why you want to be in gold and silver as opposed to stock market today. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.